Eastern Asia, surrounded by forests and peatlands. Our host city, Palangkaraya, is the largest city by land mass in the area of Indonesia. It's 4 times the size of Jakarta. The city only founded in 1957. It's located on the southern side of the island of Borneo, part of the archipelago, which includes over 900 permanently inhabited islands in Indonesia. Welcome to the 2023 UCI Mountain Bike Eliminator World Championships with me, Emma Martin. We're looking forward to bringing you all of the action today, and we are already taking a look at the course. Slight changes and amendments from the World Cup that was here in 2022, because those wall ride corners are shorter and tighter, so less line choice through these wall rides. So 2 wall ride corners before you come up and through into the doubles. These are the jumps that will face our riders. Now, this course is technical, it is fast, and it is furious, with a big drop off, a log roll and a rock garden facing the riders today. So today, if you are new to Eliminator mountain biking, it's a time trial that decides the qualification into the 8s, into the quarterfinals, and Tormena, you can see, our reigning world champion, qualifies through those 8th heats alongside key riders. Now, Kuiper is out. Beck, the young German, is out, and Simoes is also out. But these are the riders who qualify for the quarters. Tormena, Abrahamsen, Van Diest, Serville, Fromberger, Matos, Giorgio, Migdem, Leite, Boissier, Schrotzenberger, De Vries, Matos, Giorgio and Migdem. So we can see the venue. The venue is waiting. The crowds are waiting. The riders are waiting. It's going to be a fantastic set of racing today to bring us the winners of the rainbow jersey. So the first heat in the women's quarterfinals, it's Serville from Estonia, Van Diest from the Netherlands, Tormena from Italy, and Abrahamsen from Sweden. So the first heat for the women are away, and Tormena pushing at the start, but she's got company out of the start pen, and that's the Swedish rider Abrahamsen, who pushes in, and the wall ride strings the riders out as Tormena leads them out onto the course. So Tormena leading this heat out from the start. Now, the course today, it is a 500-metre course, and because of that, 2 full laps for our riders, dropping off through the rock garden. Multiple lines on the rock garden we will see in use today as they come up onto the second ramp. Now, off of the second ramp is indeed the big drop off, so the riders dropping off, and the TV cameras making that look much easier than it actually is as they come down and through the log roll and take the right hand turn for the first time on to the finish straight. So at the end of lap 1, this is heat 1 in the women's quarterfinals. Tormena from Italy comfortably taking the riders through in the lead. It's Van Diest from the Netherlands into Abrahamsen from Sweden in 3, and Serville from Estonia currently in 4th place. But all that could change on lap 2. So Tormena comfortably leading this out. She wants the qualification. So 2 riders from the heat will progress to the semi-finals. 2 riders will be eliminated. So Tormena coming in to the drop-off. Van Diest coming in into Abrahamsen in 3. Serville from Estonia still in that 4th place at the moment. Tormena looking like she is going to comfortably qualify for the semi-finals. She is reserving as much energy as possible as there's some sprint coming on from the Swede Abrahamsen to try and click that 3rd place, but it's Serville who goes through in 3. But the 2 qualifiers today, Gaia Tormena from Italy and Moon Van Diest from the Netherlands, are the first 2 women through to the semi-final today. So our second heat lining up and ready as we take an aerial shot of the course. So 15 seconds being given to our riders. It is Didi de Vries from the Netherlands, Schwarzenberger from France, Liti from Brazil, and Boissier from France. So will we see a French qualification here? Two riders in the French colours, one from the Netherlands, one from Brazil, and it is indeed the Brazilian rider, Liti, taking it out the lead into the first wall wide, but the other riders are close on her heels. This is a tight group coming into the second ride. The Brazilian takes that high and she drops out still in the lead. Absolutely pushing on over the doubles. Those riders are eyeballs out for the qualification because all four of these riders want to make it through to the semi-finals today. So down the rock garden and up under the bridge onto the next ramp, and this is the drop-off. There is a B-line on this segment. The riders can choose to take the B-line should they not wish to take the A-line, but they're up and over and down the log roll and taking the right-hand corner into the finish straight for the first time. Do not discount the two French riders yet. There's one full lap still to go on this course and anything could happen. So it's Lara Lite from Brazil leading this qualifier out. Didi de Vries from the Netherlands into these two riders. Looking now, though, they are clear from Boissier and Schwarzenberger, the two French riders. Now, Schwarzenberger, one of our youngest riders from Normandy in northern France, having a fantastic first season on the XCE Eliminator World Cup scene, but it is going to be, I think, Lite from Brazil and de Vries from the Netherlands who qualify here comfortably now in the lead, having backed off the pace a little bit, trying to conserve as much energy as possible for that semi-final. So as Lite and de Vries come round onto the finish line, the two French women, Boissier and Schwarzenberg, look like they are not going to make the qualification through to the final today. Heat number 2 now complete. So this is the UCI 2023 Mountain Bike Eliminator World Championships. We're coming to you from Palangkaraya in Indonesia. This is Heat 3 of the women's quarterfinals. Migden from Denmark, Giorgio from Cyprus, Fromberger from Germany, and Matos from Brazil. Now Fromberger will really want to take this out and ensure qualification today. She finished second in the qualification time trials to Tormena. In fact, Tormena and Fromberger both setting times in the qualifications that would have put them in the men's qualification as well. So two exceptionally fast times. And I think it's going to come down to, well, no commentator's curse today, but a battle between Fromberger and Tormena. We saw that in the European Championships. It was a real fight for that European title. Is it going to be the same for the world title today? Or are we going to see one of our other riders mixing it up in the battle? So Fromberger leading this out as we drop on to the log roll. This is going to be the end of lap 1 of 2. 4 riders, all exceptionally tight together, still packed together at the end of lap 1. Fromberger from Germany, Giorgio from Cyprus, Lima Matos from Brazil, and Migden from Denmark. It's the Danish rider at the back of this group at the moment. So the Danish rider in red at the back of the group as they sweep through the wall rides and move on to the doubles on lap 2. So all 4 riders still strung out here. The fight for these 2 qualification places is going to be frantic in this last half a lap. Come down through the rock garden. And it is indeed Fromberger who is looking for an overtaking position here. She's currently the rider in 3rd place, going through into 2nd as the Danish rider comes up into 3rd as well. So this is going to be a battle. We have Fromberger, Lima Matos and Migden all wanting one of these 2 qualification places. Who is going to make this? The 3 riders are across the line. Taking a look at that. Well, I think it's going to be Giorgio from Fromberger, the Danish rider Migden missing out, as well as Matos from Brazil. So a tight finish there in that women's heat. In fact, 0.07 back to Fromberger, 0.14 of a second to Migden. So final heat in quarterfinals, it's Manchester from New Zealand, Clausure from France, Latifa from Indonesia, and Adriana from Indonesia as well. Now the two Indonesian riders in this heat, very strong in the World Cup when we were here in Indonesia last year and setting good qualification times earlier on in the time trial today. But we're seeing it is Clausure leading this out at the moment. Now, Clausure was indeed the 2018 World Champion. She was third in 2019, and she was indeed second in the World Championships in 2022. So a long history and a long pedigree of performances at World Championship level for Clausure as she leads out the final heat in the quarterfinals of the women. Now all change through that section, come down the drop-off and into the log roll as we're descending at the moment into the end of lap 1. And it is indeed the Indonesian rider Latifa who has pushed on into the lead. Clausure in 2, Manchester in 3, Adriana in 4. Now 2 riders to qualify as the push here comes from Latifa. Latifa really working hard here to ensure that qualification. Beautifully smooth through the doubles as she pushes on up to the rock garden. She is clear. Clausure now looking as though she is in trouble for that second place in qualification. So whilst Latifa checks over her shoulder, the battle is on behind for the second qualification place. Coming down the drop-off, Latifa from Indonesia looking clear in that qualification position. Clausure, Manchester and Adriana are the riders behind. Who is going to take the second qualification race? Because that is a battle between Clausure and the rider from New Zealand. I think that's going to be Clausure who secures the qualification place. Indeed, it is Jessica Manchester from New Zealand just missing out there in that final heat. Adriana, the rider, in 4. So you can see our qualifiers from those women's quarterfinals progressing to the semi-finals. Tormena van Diest, Giorgio Fromberger, Clausure, Latifa, as we line up now for the men's quarterfinals. This is the first men's quarterfinals. Now we have indeed seen some riders go out in the 8 finals, but at the moment it is Klemenchik from Slovenia, Rocker from Norway, Lind from Sweden, and Molnar, the new champion of Europe, lined up from Heat 1. So the riders are away on Heat 1 of the men's race. We're seeing a fast and furious start. 3 riders lined up going into that wall ride together. And it is indeed a big push on the front. They are continuing to fight for position as they go through the second wall ride. It's Rocker who is coming from Norway in that red jersey at the front. The Swede Lind is the rider in 2. Now Rocket having some fantastic performances in the last few rounds of the World Cup this season. Lynn, the rider in 2, frantically being chased by the current European champion Molnar, and Klemenchik, the rider in green at the back, well, he was the 2022 European champion. So absolute class in heat number 1 today in the quarterfinals of the Men's World Championships. So the swing into lap 2, and it is the Swedish rider Lind in 1, Rocker in 2, Molnar in 3, Klemenchik in 4. Now, Molnar came through from 4th to 1st in the quarterfinals in the European Championships on his way to that title win. Can he do the same today as they've got multiple lines through the rock garden? Molnar's trying to come up on the outside. He slips back into the draft of the Danish rider, slipping back into the draft of Rocker. Can he do anything about this, or is this going to be Lind and Rocker who take the qualification places today. Will the reigning current European champion actually make the qualification here today in the World Championships? I don't think so. I think that is a big news story because Eddie Molnar, the 2023 European champion, will not progress to the semi-finals today. It is Lind and Rocker from Sweden and Norway who take the 2 qualification places. So heat number 2. We have Perrine Gagné from France, 2022 world champion, Luckman, Fernandez and Pratima here, all lined up and ready to go. So they are off, they are away, and they are into the first wall ride. The start has been fast, and yet again this quarter-final heat stacked with talent as we see a huge push on coming on the front here. So Pratima from Indonesia, our Indonesian riders really strong here in front of a home crowd. Absolutely brilliant racing today from our home riders. Pratima in 1. Perrine Gagné comes through into 2nd place. The rider from France really not wanting to miss out on qualification here, but it's shoulder to shoulder behind as we see one of the riders go down. Now that was Fernandez from Spain. That is racing line, fighting for the line on that wall ride. Now Pratima and Perrine Gagné are clear from the troubles behind on this lap. And we said, you know, this is a technical course. There are multiple lines and tactics. Choice is key, and it is close racing because those wall rides are pinch tight on the course and it forces you to push and get your position and your line right. But it is indeed Pratima and Perrine Gagné who look like they're going to qualify here. Luckman and Fernandez, the 2 riders missing out in this heat. So heat number 2, just as exciting as heat number 1 in the men's quarterfinals, and so it should be. This is the Eliminator World Championships. So Pratima qualifying, Perrine Gagné qualifying, Luckman missing out, and so does Fernandez from Spain. So lining up for heat number 3, we're not quite ready for the 15-second mark because we are awaiting the final rider from the previous heat to come through. So lining up for the next heat, Stiebel from France, Gegenheimer from Germany, Serres from France, and Hauser from Austria. Now, interestingly, Hauser broke his chain in the European Championships, but was having a seriously fast start. Gegenheimer, Stiebel, and Serres, this could be a semi-final. The lineup is so strong. It's going to be an absolute flyer because they will all want qualification places. And it's Gegenheimer who comes across the line in 1, off of that start straight and into the wall ride. So Gegenheimer, Serres, Stiebel, and Hauser line up into the second wall ride. This heat is fast and furious already because Gegenheimer doesn't want to miss out. He missed out in the semi-finals in the European Championships and rode in the small final. He's not going to make that mistake today. He's going to ensure qualification here because he was indeed the world champion in 21. So he is going to be fast and furious here in terms of pushing through. So it is indeed Gegenheimer in 1, Serres in 2, Stiebel in 3, Hauser in 4. Hauser's now up to 3rd position as the race progresses in this 3rd heat. So Hauser moving into 3rd place. Eddie Stiebel from France now in 4th as they come through to the doubles in this second lap. They're going to come up onto the bank, up onto the ramp, through the rock garden. Hauser is pushing on. He's pushing on hard because he wants that qualification place off Serres. I'm not sure he's going to make it. That is one gap that Serres has now got in terms of clearer from Theo Hauser from Austria. So Gegenheimer in 1. Ceres into these two riders coming on to the finish straight. They took a quick check over the shoulder, quick fist pump there. Those two riders qualify through to the semi-final. Hauser pulls it up onto one wheel to say thank you very much to the crowd, but he's not going to qualify for the semi-final today. So whilst one heat finishes, another heat lines up. And this is going to be the final heat in the quarter-finals for the men. So Klausmann from Germany, Berman from Sweden, Schwarzenberger from France, and Mohammed from Indonesia. Now, Schwarzenberger was indeed the winner here in the 2022 World Cup, and he's pushing on for a fast start. They are right the way across the road. But it is indeed Klausmann, I think, who is going to lead that out. So Klausmann from Germany leading this out from Mohammed from Indonesia, Schwarzenberg in 2, Berman from Sweden in 3. So Mohammed comes up on the outside of Klausmann, pops himself into the lead before the rock garden comes pushing down through the rock gardens. Real pace going on at the front of this lap at the moment from the Indonesian rider in front of the home crowd. Klausmann, Schwarzenberger and Berman being left to fight it out behind for that second qualification place. This is the end of lap 1, and there is a fast and furious push coming from behind because they have been caught out by Mohammed. Mohammed in 1, Klausmann in 2, Schwarzenberger in 3, Berman in 4. They are all going to want this qualification place, but it is looking like it is going to be Klausmann, Schwarzenberger and Berman fighting for the second place, and indeed they are fighting as Schwarzenberger and Klausmann push on behind. Schwarzenberger from France pushing hard, Klausmann pushing too. It is indeed the Swedish rider Berman coming up into 3rd spot at the moment. Schwarzenberger coming up onto the wheel of Mohammed. It is going to be fast and furious here, but it's going to be Mohammed who takes in 1. It's going to be Schwarzenberger, the Frenchman, who qualifies in 2. Klausmann from Germany and Berman from Sweden are going to be the 2 riders who miss out, as you can see from our men's quarter-finals. The 4 qualifiers on the left-hand side and the 4 qualifiers on the right-hand side for those semi-finals. So we are awaiting the riders lining up for the semi-finals, and you can see this is the 2 heats of the women's semi-finals. So Tormena, Lite, Van Dienst and De Vries in heat 1, Fromberger, Latifa, Closier and Giorgio in heat 2. Now, the top 2 riders in each of the semi-finals will go through to the big final for 1st to 4th positions today. The bottom 2 riders will qualify for the small final, sorting places 5 through to 8. So De Vries, Tormena, Lite and Van Dienst lined up, 2 riders from the Netherlands, 1 from Italy and 1 from Brazil. So the first semi-final in the 2023 UCI Mountain Bike Eliminator World Championships underway, and it's Tormena who takes spot 1 into the wall ride. It's Lite from Brazil in the green and yellow, sitting behind the Italian rider in blue. We've got De Vries and Van Dienst, the 2 riders from the Netherlands. Now De Vries and Van Dienst at 3rd and 4th in the World Cup standings this year. Tormena taking the top spot there. So 2 class riders from the Netherlands sat in 3rd and 4th today. So Tormena pushing on here. She's adamant she wants that qualification, and she's riding it from the front today. We've seen her win from the front. We've seen her win from the back. She is a consummate professional when it comes to XCE. Interestingly, you know, she's also the Italian Enduro champion, so she's got many strings to her bows. So Tormena pushing on. the Brazilian rider having challenges now, and it is the two riders from the Netherlands coming through, but Tormena looking like she is going to qualify very easily here out front on heat number 1 of the semi-finals. So all eyes on Gaia Tormena from Italy. She has been multiple world champion in this discipline, and she is looking as though she is going to qualify for the final comfortably today. So as Tormena takes that right-hand turn on to the finish line, checking over her shoulder for the riders behind, it is indeed the rider from the Netherlands coming in to second spot to qualify. So Gaia Tormena from Italy qualifying in 1, and Moon van Dienst from the Netherlands qualifying in 2. So Didi de Vries coming across the line in 3rd place, and our rider from Brazil just coming through on the drop-off there to complete her lap and qualify for the small finals. So the small finals will decide positions 5 through to 8. The big finals, well, that's first and the winner of the rainbow jersey through to 4th place. So Tormena and Van Dienst, the first 2 riders through to the big final today. This is the lineup. This is semi-final number 2, and 2 riders from here will progress alongside Tormena and Van Dienst to battle for that rainbow jersey. So Clusure, Latifa, Fromberger and Giorgio are the riders on the start line to progress. From a long hold, it's away go. The heat number 2. This is the second semi-finals in the Women's World Championships this year, coming to you from Palangkaraya in Indonesia. They're up and round the wall ride. They are fast and furious here. It's Fromberger out front, the German rider. It's looking like it's Clusure in 2 from France, but close on the heels and well saved there is indeed Latifa from Indonesia, pushing on here, but the German rider Fromberger, a bit like Tormena, absolutely adamant she's leading from the front today. She's going out hard and ensuring this qualification. Clusure in 2 does not want to let that go, but the Indonesian rider, well, she is hugging her back wheel at the moment. So Latifa in that 3rd spot at the moment, but it is going to be a tight qualification and a hard qualification for that 2nd spot at the moment. So Fromberger goes out on to lap 2, leading them out in this 2nd semi-final as Latifa comes past Clusure. So Latifa from Indonesia moving into 2nd place. The crowd are going wild by the side of the track because they've got a rider who's looking like she's going to qualify. And Latifa is pushing on here. Clusure now in 3. These 2 riders now looking clear. So it's looking like it's going to be Fromberger and Latifa, the German rider and the Indonesian rider, who are the 2 riders going to progress to the big final. Clusure and Giorgio looking as though they are going to qualify for the small final. The home crowd are going to be ecstatic. So the crowd cheer as the riders cross the line. It's Fromberger from Germany and Latifa from Indonesia qualifying for the big final. Clusure and Giorgio join De Vries and Lite in the small final. So the women's semi-finals now complete. Tormena, Van Dienst, Fromberger and Latifa qualifying for the big final. De Vries, Lite, Clusure and Giorgio qualifying for the small final. So the men's semi-finals are indeed up next. It's going to be Lind, Rocker, Pratama and Peringanye in the first heat. It's going to be Ceres, Mohammed, Schrotzenberger and Gengenheimer in heat number 2. So whilst the men are lining up, they've been given the 15-second call for the first semi-final. Perrin Gagné from France, Rocker from Norway, Lind from Sweden, and Prasma from Indonesia. And away they go. The whistle has gone, and it is going to be fast and furious because they will all want the lead into this wall ride. And it's the Norwegian rider, Rocker, who takes the lead. It's the Swedish rider, Lind, in 2, Perrin Gagné in 3, and Prasme in 4. So the Norwegian rider, Rocker, we said that he was on form at the back end of the World Cup. Perrin Gagné just coming past Lind to take second place before they drop into that rock garden. And they move under the bridge and up the next ramp, because the next ramp gives them the drop-off. Perrin Gagné, I think, is going to try and challenge for first place, because he's not going to want to sit second wheel and wait for an attack from behind. So Rock from Norway in 1, Perrin Gagné from France in 2. Gagné, multiple-time world champion, coming through on the inside of the Norwegian rider to go first into that wall ride. The Swedish rider, Lind, looking like he's pulling up a little there. So Perrin Gagné from Rocker pushing on at the moment through the jump section on this course. These two riders fast and furious, wanting that qualification. They're up and through and onto the rock garden as they drop down wheel on wheel. So Rocker hugging the wheel of Perrin Gagné, not wanting to let it go. Lind and Prasme are the two riders behind, but a big gap now as the two leading riders check over their shoulder and check the position of where they are so that they know they are clear before they back off and save any energy for that semi-final. So big gulp of breath there from Rocker and a wave to the crowd as the Norwegian rider comes through in first place. The French rider Perrin Gagné coming through in second. Both of those riders qualifying for the big final. Prasme from Indonesia coming in 3rd, Lind from Sweden coming in 4th. Those two riders qualifying for the small finals. Positions 5th through to 8th. So the first semi-final in the men's race, giving us a great spectacle. This is the second semi-final. Gegenheimer, Schwarzenberger, Seres and Mohamed. Two French riders, one from Germany, one from Indonesia, and they are fast out of the start pen, and it's Gegenheimer who goes into the wall ride in 1. The two French riders sitting in behind. Then Mohamed from Indonesia is the rider on the back of the group. So Gegenheimer, Seres, Schwarzenberger and Mohamed. Gegenheimer adamant he wants a qualification for the big final. The two French riders, well, they are battling at the moment for that second wheel as the two of them really they are sprinting up and out of the saddle and onto that drop as they are fighting to get to Gegenheimer's back wheel and close down the gap to second place. So it's looking like it's Gegenheimer in 1, Seres in 2, Schwarzenberger in 3. These three riders now are the riders fighting for these two qualification places. The Indonesian rider Mohamed not in the picture at the moment because of the pace being set by these three riders on the front. All three riders capable and have made the finals in the World Cups this year. Schwarzenberger was indeed the rider who won here in Indonesia in 2022. They are lined up through the rock garden. They are continuing to push, and Gegenheimer is adamant he's staying on the front. The two French riders battling hard behind, and at the moment it's Schwarzenberger who is the rider missing out as he comes up on the inside of Seres. They're side by side down the log roll. Seres comes through, he takes the right turn, he is pushing on. It's going to be Schwarzenberger who misses out. He tried to close that gap, he tried to come through, but he did not make that. So Gegenheimer and Seres are the two riders to qualify for the big final. Quentin Schwarzenberger, who won the round of the World Cup here in Indonesia last year, well, he's going to have to settle for the small final. Mohamed is the last rider to come through in the men's semi-finals, and the Indonesian rider will progress to the small final. Now, first up will be our small finals. These will decide places 5th to 8th today. The riders are down, getting ready and lining up. We are going to go to our women's small final first. But before that, let's just confirm the qualifications for the men. So the men's qualifications were there indeed, and it is indeed Lind Mohammed, Strotzenberger, and who qualify for that final. So this is the women's small final, and they are away. Lite, Closure, Giorgio and De Vries pushing on, and it is the Brazilian rider pushing hard in one. She goes into that wall ride with the French rider Closure on her wheel. It is Giorgio from Cyprus and Didi De Vries, the rider from the Netherlands, as the rider from Cyprus goes really high on the second wall ride. Brazilian rider going through the jumps at the moment and pushing now on up the ramp that will take her into the rock garden. So it is the rider Lite from Brazil leading out this small final. Closure having problems and pulling up there. Giorgio from Cyprus goes past her, so does Didi De Vries from the Netherlands. So Lara Lite from Brazil in one. Closure, the French rider, with problems on lap one. Giorgio from Cyprus was in second place. Didi De Vries in 3 as the Brazilian rider goes out on to lap 2. So Lite going out onto lap 2. Giorgio from Cyprus coming through in second place over the line as Lite continues her progress at the front of this small final through the doubles section. She will shortly come up onto the ramp leading to the rock garden. But as you can see, she is clear from behind. So comfortably in first place. You just do not know what is going to happen on these eliminator courses. It's fast and furious racing with great tactics, many line choices, and it creates close racing. It also creates challenges and problems in clear racing, which we're seeing from the rider from Brazil at the moment. So Lite from Brazil will come through to take 5th place at the World Championships today. Look at the emotion on her face. That is one very happy rider. As we see a push for second, and it is indeed Didi De Vries from the Netherlands who takes second place, and 6th place overall from Giorgio from Cyprus. She will take 7th place overall at the World Championships today. So let's not forget the small finals. These are the small finals in the 2023 Mountain Bike Eliminator World Championships, coming to you from Palangkaraya in Indonesia. The women's small finals was a furious race with domination actually from the rider from Brazil, but positions changing regularly behind. Now, Closure from France had an issue in lap 1 which took her out of that racing, but the Brazilian rider absolutely dominating the women's small final, riding herself into 5th position in the World Championships today. One very happy rider crossing the finish line. Now the next race up today is going to be the men's small final, as we see confirmation there of the women's. So indeed, Lara Lite taking that win from Brazil. So the men getting ready down on the arena in front of us. You can see the crowds, not just in the stands, but in the center of the track as well. The mountain biking really taking off here in Indonesia. The World Cup last year, phenomenal crowds as well. So this is the men's small final. The riders are indeed lining up and ready to go. So we have Pratama from Indonesia, Strotzenberger from France, Lind from Sweden, and Mohammed from Indonesia as well. So as the riders line up Lind from Sweden, Mohammed from Indonesia, Schrotzenberger from France, and Pratame from Indonesia. 2 riders from Indonesia, 1 from France, 1 from Sweden. Schrotzenberger was the rider who took that win in the World Cup in 2022. Can he take the win in this small final, or will it go to one of the local riders? Now that is going to be interesting, because the home crowd is going to be well behind those 2 riders, and home crowd advantage can indeed push a racer to put in a fantastic performance, and no one on that start line will be unaware of the quality of the riders from around the world and the home riders, 2 of which are on that start line right now. So the 15-second countdown given to the riders in this men's small final, and they are away. Fast start at the moment from the Swedish rider. It's Lind who is pushing on and going into that wall ride first. Lining out behind, Mohammed from Indonesia, Schrotzenberger from France, and Pratame from Indonesia in 4. And that's the position they come into the doubles. The power and pace pushing on at the front. Schrotzenberger coming up on the inside, and so is Pratame. So riders changing position all the time at the moment. So it's Schrotzenberger in 2, but the Swedes still out in first place. So Lind out in first place from Sweden, pushing on, wanting to win this small final, wanting to take 5th position in the World Championships today. So the Swedish rider coming over the line at the end of lap 1. In first spot, needs to hold that now for the entirety of this second lap. Not just hold that gap, but hold the bike together as well. Schrotzenberger from France into being challenged by Pratame and Mohammed from Indonesia. So Lind looks like he's having it all his own way at the moment. That hard and fast kick on the first lap, that fast pace that he set, creating the gap. Now keeping the gap on lap 2. You can see the grimace on his face. He is working hard, still working hard for that second position as he swings into the finish line, taking that right-hand turn. Now this is for 5th place, popping it up onto the wheel. Another happy rider winning the small final. Schrotzenberger from France coming through on 1 wheel as well, thanking the crowd, thanking the volunteers, thanking the organisers. He is going to take 2nd today in the small final. That's going to give him 7th place overall in the World Championships. Pratame from Indonesia coming through in 3rd. Mohammed in 4th. You can see the results there in front of you. That is going to give them 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th in the World Championships today. Now, this is the big final in the women's race. This is the top 4 today. Fromberger from Germany, Van Dienst from the Netherlands, Tormena from Italy, and Latifa from Indonesia. These 4 riders have come through the time trial, the 8th finals, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals. They are now in the final, fighting it out for the rainbow jersey. This is the Women's 2023 Mountain Bike Eliminator World Championships, a big final race, and it's Guy Tormena leading it out. She's pushing on hard, she's come out hard, she's gone into the second wall ride in first place. Now Fromberger is pushing, she's trying to close the gap down to that fast starting Tormena. Fromberger in 2, Van Dienst in 3, Latifa in 4. Latifa is challenging Van Dienst for that 3rd position. Tormena pushes on at the front. She's up onto the drop. She's gone the drop on the first lap, and she's putting daylight into Fromberger at the moment. What can Fromberger, Van Dienst and Latifa do about this? Or is this going to be Guy Tormena dominant again in the 2023 season? It is a fight behind going on here as Tormena goes out on her 2nd lap. That fight behind is Van Dienst into Latifa in 3. Fromberger having an issue at the end of that 2nd lap, but Tormena absolutely dominant again on this final today. This is going to be a ride for another rainbow jersey if she takes this across the line. Van Dienst and Latifa in second and third, fighting it out behind. Tormena is the rider, though. Is that a grimace? Is that a smile? She is clear at the moment as she comes into the log drop. She's got one corner left. That right-hand corner sweeping her on to the finish straight. That is one very happy rider. She is going to take the rainbow jersey again. Multiple time world champion in the Eliminator discipline. Phenomenal riding from Geert Tormena to take this again, and amazing riding. Dara Latifa comes through to take Anmoon van Dienst for second place. So Tormena from Italy taking the win. Latifa from Indonesia taking second place. Van Dienst from the Netherlands will take third. Fromberger from Germany finishing in fourth. So fantastic shots in front of us from Tormena, dominating that women's final. She's dominated MTB Eliminator racing over the last few years. She is continuing her reign, taking the World Championships today. Geert Tormena from Italy, Dara Latifa from Indonesia taking second, and Anmoon van Dienst from the Netherlands taking third. Marion Fromberger coming through from Germany for fourth place today in the UCI Mountain Bike Eliminator World Championships. So the women's race has been decided. That just leaves us now with the men's final. And the 15 seconds to go has been given. It's Rocker from Norway, Gegenheimer from Germany, Serres from France, and last year's world champion Perrin Gagné from France in the outside stop there. So away they go. This is going to be fast and furious. 4 world-class riders lined up in this final. It's going to be Gegenheimer who takes them into the wall ride for the first time. It's Perrin Gagné into absolutely adamant. He's sticking to that wheel. Rocket, who was the fast starter in the semi-final from Norway in 3. Serres, the second French rider in this final in 4. So Gegenheimer having watched, and Gegenheimer slips out there at the end of the rock garden. Now that opens the door for the other 3 riders. So Perrin Gagné, Rocket and Serres now coming through, and anything can happen as we have just seen. It's fast, it's furious, the power goes down, the wheels can wash out. Indeed, that's happened to Gegenheimer. Perrin Gagné now coming through in first place. Rocket from Norway in 2. Serres from France in 3. We said anything can happen. Anything can absolutely happen in this Eliminator racing. These races are over so fast. The lap from Perrin Gagné, 45 seconds. That leading lap. So Rocker now coming up onto his wheel, wanting to challenge Perrin Gagné for the lead in this men's final. This is for the rainbow jersey. This is for the World Championships. And Rocker now having a problem in the same space. In fact, these will now completely collapse. So from second place to an unrideable bike, it's leaving the door open for Perrin Gagné. Everything is happening in this final today. Perrin Gagné comes on to the finish straight. For the second time in a row, he's going to take the World Championships again. Look at the celebrations from Perrin Gagné. It's going to be France 1 and France 2. Gegenheimer is going to come through for third place today after the incident in lap 1. The incident from Rocker from Denmark, from Norway, taking him out on lap 2, taking him out of the medal positions. Wow, what a final. So the first problem there for Gegenheimer, where he slid out of the bottom of the rock garden. We then saw Perrin Gagné come through into the lead on lap 2. Rocker closing it down from Norway and challenging for first place. But at the bottom of the rock garden, a complete collapse of his rear wheel. Now getting your machinery across the line. absolutely essential. We saw Hauser with the chain snap in the European Championships, but Perrin Gagne, let's give him credit where credit is due. Another multiple-time world champion in the mountain bike eliminator format, taking the rainbow jersey again with an outstanding ride. Perrin Gagne takes the win. Ceres in 2, Rocker from Norway in 3 on there at the moment. We are just looking for confirmation, but currently saying Gegenheimer in 4th on the screen at the moment. We will await to see the next stage of this. Oh, what amazing racing, both from Tomena and Perrin Gagne. And behind, let's not discount any of those other riders in those finals. Latifa van Diensten from Berger in the women's final. And I think we are indeed going to hear from Tomena.
Thank you very much. I'm super happy in this moment. I just would like to cry because it was such a long travel to come here. And then it's the 15th of November and I started the season in February. I'm just super tired and I'm happy to end the season like this. So now I will enjoy my off season with this amazing result as last race.
You did an amazing performance today. It's a long way from home for you to finish up your incredible campaign. Talk us through your race tactics today and what went through your head as you went through the day.
In my head, I had like 3 different tactics and I was changing it every 30 minutes because I was watching the other heats and I was studying my opponents and try to understand which tactic was the best. So yeah, in the end, I saw that many people were crashing on the first corner. Then I decided not to do a conservative race, but to start in the front from the first lap and try to stay there. And I'm very happy to have chosen this one because it was apparently the best one.
Congratulations on your season. You are now world champion for the 2nd time. Enjoy the rest of your day. And okay, beauty shot.
So Tomena retaining her rainbow jersey for the Mountain Bike Eliminator World Championships yet again. We will shortly be moving to the women's flower ceremony where we will see her take top step in that podium. So what a set of races the UCI 2023 Mountain Bike Eliminator World Championships have given us. Absolutely fantastic racing in both the women's and the men's race, with Tomena retaining her World Championships title and jerseys. We can see there indeed is Van Dienst in 3, Latifa in 2nd, and Tomena taking the top spot there today. So 3 very happy riders at this World Championships. Tomena from Italy taking the win and the rainbow jersey with that world title yet again. So the women's flower ceremony now over. We are moving shortly to the men's flower ceremony. But before that, we will be able to hear from the men's winner today. Another rider retaining their rainbow jersey, retaining that World Championships. That's Titouan Perrin Gagne from France, who will be with us very shortly. Now, it was indeed a fantastic battle in his final as well, from Ceres, Gegenheimer and the Norwegian rocker as well. It was all action today here in Indonesia at Palangkaraya, yet again hosting another phenomenal race. So the World Championships here showing us that anything can happen in mountain bike eliminator racing. This is the final race of the season for 2023, and we're going to hear from the World Champions.
Tell the world how you feel.
Oh, it was really a tough day. From the 8th final, the level was super high, and I just managed to make the good race possible hit after hit. In the final, it was just the KO because Simon crashed after the rock garden. I take the first position and I said in my mind, oh fuck, now I really need to push. And I push. Sundro was in my back wheel, but he crashed as well. So yeah, it was just amazing, but I'm super happy. And I really want to say thank you to Stefan and my team for the best support possible.
Becoming a world champion is all about personal sacrifices and sacrifices as a whole to get here. Tell us, what do you hope for mountain biking for the next season and for yourself?
I think hope it's easy. It's just make a race like here. It's full of people. The organization is so amazing. It was not an easy period with the forest fire because postponement of 4 weeks. So we really have to stay focused. And I would like to say a big thank you to my family to give me the best support possible, to stay focused on my goal. And today we did it. We did it with the family and the team.
You are world champion. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. With a lot of champagne for sure.
So look at the ecstatic pictures in front of us of Perrin Gagné retaining that rainbow jersey and the World Championship title again this year. Absolute joy and celebrations all round. In fact, Tormena and Perrin Gagné will be celebrating tonight. So to the men's flower ceremony. In third place, the Norwegian rocker. In second position, Ceres from France. And taking top spot today, Perrin Gagné from France yet again. So Palangkaraya has given us an amazing mountain bike Eliminator World Championships for 2023. The celebrations are going to go on for a long time. This is the end of the XCE season. We'll see you all over again in 2024. Until then, from me, Emma Martin, stay safe, enjoy your riding. Goodbye.